So the best way to figure out how much your finance charge should be, meaning your interest for the month or the new balance, is to use the average daily balance technique. Now, I'm just showing on the screen here two of the three problems because they wouldn't all fit. The third problem is very similar. We're going to go ahead and do the middle one, which in this problem would be here 14, 15, and 16. And in order to do these, I have to fill out this table. But first, let's take a look at the three things that I need. First is the average daily balance. This allows us to determine how much money is in our account on the average day, not the highest day, not the lowest day, but the average day. So we take the sum of the daily balances that I'm going to find right here, and I'm going to divide that by the number of days, which I will find right here. For the finance charge, I will take the average daily balance, which is what I will determine in number 14, and I will multiply it times my periodic rate or my monthly interest rate. The new balance is we take the unpaid balance. So how much money did I owe at the end of the month? And I add to that any new money that I owe from a finance charge. So let's go ahead and take a look at 14, 15, and 16 by first filling out this table. So from 11/1 to 11/12, there were no payments, there were no purchases. The balance at the end of each of those days was $162.54. From the 1st to the 12th, that is a total of 12 days. So I take the balance from each of those days, I multiply it by the number of days, and that gives me the sum of the daily balances, which is $1,950.48. On 11/13, something happened. And if I look up here, it tells me that there was a payment. The payment was $50. We filled that in for you. So the balance at the end of the day, well, I used to owe $162, right? $162.54, but I made a payment of $50. So now I only owe $112.54, right? So the balance at the end of the day now is $112.54. This is just one day. So I multiply that out and I get $112.54. Then from 11/14 to 11/19, I didn't make any payments, didn't make any purchases. The balance at the end of each of those days was still $112.54. From 11/14 to 11/19, that is 6 days. So I multiply 6 by 112.54 and I get 675.24. Then I made a purchase of $32.37, says it up here in the description, on the 20th. So what happens is I don't owe $112.54 anymore. I used to owe $112.54, but now I owe an additional $32.37 because I bought something. So now I owe $144.91. So the balance at the end of the day on the 20th was $144.91. That's just one day, so I have $144.91. Then from 119 to 130, that shouldn't say 119, that should say 121. Your copy should say 1121. Mine has a boo-boo on it. So from 1121 to 1130, I didn't make a payment. I didn't make a purchase. At the end of each of those days, I owed $144.91 times the number of days. That's 10 days. So it's $1,449.10. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the total number of days which is 30. And I'm going to add up the total sum of the daily balances, which leaves me with $4,332.27. So to find the average daily balance, number 14, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sum of the daily balances and divide it by the number of days. My sum of the daily balances is $4,332.27. My number of days is 30. So I'll go 43, 32, 27 divided by 30. And that's going to leave me with 144.41. So I have my first answer here, 144.41. So now the finance charge, number 15. The finance charge is going to be, remember, my average daily balance times the periodic rate. So it's the average balance times the periodic rate. The average balance in this problem, we just said, was 144.41. The periodic rate in this problem says is 1.25%. Written as a decimal is 0.0125. So I'm going to go 144.41 times 0.0125. And that's going to leave me with $1.81. So now I need my new balance. So for 16, my new balance is the unpaid balance plus the finance charge. So what was the unpaid balance? What did I owe at the end of the month? At the end of the month, I owed $144.91. That's my unpaid balance, $144.91. My finance charge is the amount of interest for the month, which I just found was $1.81. So I'm going to add those together, 144.91 plus 181, and that's going to leave me with 146.72. So my new balance at the end of that month is $146.72.